Why should civil society improve their understanding of the three-part test? Civil society is the guardian of digital rights. Analyzing laws that impact digital rights can help ensure that policymaking does not diminish the rights exercised by you, your families, your communities, and your fellow citizens. It's also helpful when you engage with international and regional human rights mechanisms, as well as other human rights professionals. Your message will more easily resonate with them, and you'll be able to clearly articulate to them why a particular law or regulation or policy is problematic. As a result, they will be more likely to intervene with government officials on your behalf to improve the problematic law. Now, let's look at some real-world examples of government restrictions to digital rights to evaluate if and how they violate human rights law. First, we'll go through an example together, assessing Mexico's use of spyware according to the three-part test. Then, you will take a quiz so you can use your newfound knowledge to analyze legal provisions on cyberbullying. Investigations have revealed that Mexico began using the spyware tool known as Pegasus in 2011 to surveil human rights defenders and journalists that were critical of the government and its policies. Once a device is infected with Pegasus, the government has access to all of the device's data. It can record every keystroke and even record conversations using the device's microphone. Many of us know instinctively that Mexico's actions are wrong. But how has Mexico violated its human rights obligations? By evaluating this case against the three-part test, we can demonstrate why Mexico's actions are problematic and likely in violation of international law. First, there's no legal basis for the government to use invasive surveillance tools like spyware against civilians. Mexico has no law that gives the government this authority. Second, criticism of politicians and government officials and government policy is not one of the legitimate purposes for restricting rights. This is protected speech. Third, even if the government had a legitimate aim to conduct surveillance, invasive spyware is disproportionate. It discloses all information and communications on a person's device, not just specific information related to a serious crime. Therefore, it is not the least restrictive means to conduct criminal investigations. And in fact, the UN Human Rights Committee has said that spyware could affect the essence of the right to privacy, and it should only be used as a last resort in cases where it would serve to prevent or investigate a specific serious crime or grave threat to national security, and only when all other less intrusive measures have been exhausted or have been shown to be futile. The use of spyware is a stark example of how governments violate human rights. But not all measures are clearly problematic. Many require closer examination to determine whether a government is complying with its human rights obligations. Now, let's look at an example from Kazakhstan in the following quiz.